Hey, wake
Oh,
up.
oh, hey. I was just really getting into that cool new rock and roll intro that we have. Thanks to beautiful producer Panda. This is a lot of fun. My name is Christian Filliman. On the other side of me is J.R. Liebert the Scarf. And this is One More Sleep, the FC Dallas, or as I lovingly like to call them, the FC Ribeye Steak episode. As mentioned, I'm Philly. That's Scarf. Scarf, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing all right, man. As you like to remind me, I'm 4+ days into my ascent on the fourth floor. Still feel relatively the same. No Metamucil, no multivitamins or anything for me just yet. But things are going well, my friend. It has been a day. U.S. men's national team just finished cleaning out Grenada, one of the two. 7-1. No MLS players represented in a U.S. men's national team for the first time since the league began in 1996. That is a crazy stat. But Philly, we've got FC Dallas coming in town. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. I'm just enjoying myself. Going to get ready for a nice night of indoor soccer. And then I'm going to get to bed early because we have a long day ahead of us at Christmas Tree Lane. There might be a fan fest that starts at 3:30, but you and I are getting there around 8 and 9 later than 9:30 a.m. So it is a long day, and I'm excited. It's going to be our first proper tailgate all season because Christmas Tree Lane has been roped off and closed off. Now we're going to get back onto the soil, and there's going to be a fan fest later. So good things in the horizon.
Yeah, definite shout out to Aaron and everybody over at the 3252 for making that happen once again this season. The fields will also be open, 90 minutes or 15 minutes prior to kickoff. It'll close, and then it'll be open for 90 minutes after. So make sure you check out the fields. No word on if we'll ever get free play and the Julius Peppers back, but that's all right. Look, we've got a team coming in, Philly, FC Dallas, who has maybe turned things around a little bit. Top 4, top 5 in the standings right now in the West. A team that's looking pretty solid coming into this match.
And a team that actually came off a really good year last season. I mean, they finished in 3rd place in the West. They made it all the way to the MLS Conference semifinals, powered by a lot of really good players. They've got themselves a bunch of young, exciting, designated players, and they're starting out the season 2-1-1. And granted, they haven't faced any stiff competition. They did manage to absolutely whoop the Galaxy, which when that happens, that's a good thing. But Scarf, we're going to be slightly handicapped in this matchup, and not because we're decimated by injury. We're decimated by international duty.
Yeah, look, you mentioned that word duty, that luckily it's a family-friendly podcast and a family-friendly segment. We can say duty as many times as we want, and it is duty right now in terms of our being handicapped. We're talking about Jose Cifuentes not being available in the midfield. We're talking about Cheeky Palacios not being available on the back line. And I don't know if you've seen this guy play, everybody in black and gold land, but turns out Denny Bawanga is pretty Denny good. And those 3 players will not be available. I don't know if you could take 3 more important players off of our roster right now and have them be unavailable. Also, you and I are going back and forth. You think Daniel Maldonado will be available? I don't think he will be. He just played 90 minutes for Honduras a couple of nights ago. By the way, a fun matchup. Not only do we have Daniel Maldonado out there, but the 2 former LAFC goalkeepers facing off against each other. Luis Buba Lopez against Tomas, the national champion Romero. And it was a 1-0 affair. Honduras took the win. And like I said, Daniel Maldonado played all 90 minutes. But luckily, Philly, they did not take away Kellen Acosta from us.
I would agree. There is no player representing the U.S. men's national team out of LAFC, and the only ones that would have been Kellen Acosta and Aaron Long. They'll be here. But who else is coming back? As Ryan Hollingshead. He said it himself. He said it. Thank you to everybody. It seems as if he's going to be ready and raring to go, and he should get the start. And we're certainly going to need him because going up against FC Dallas, a team much deeper than us, we're going in there a heck of a lot thinner than we normally are.
Yeah, whenever a player has to tweet out that his lungs are doing better and that he's progressing along nicely, oh, dude, that hurts so much. Look, there's going to be a lot of players that we're going to have our eye on. Of course, Marco Farfan making his triumphant return, and the triumphant return would be like with a kazoo sound or something as he walked into the building. Yeah, good old Marco Farfan. We'll talk about another as we do our banter at the end of the match for things that we're looking forward to. I have a feeling we'll get to that player, Philly. But let's talk about our players to watch for this match. We're going to approach this with a little bit of a 110 football style right now. Our 2 players to watch. We're going to pick one from FC Dallas and one from LAFC. And I can't wait to get started. I'm going to give you mine, Philly. And I think everything starts and ends on Dallas's back line, and more importantly, between the pipes. Saving 2 penalty shots last week. They are going to need some more heroics from the week 4 team of the week keeper from FC Dallas, Martin Paez. I think Paez is going to have to make 3 or 4 key saves in order to keep this match close, as LAFC and FC Dallas will look to turn this match into a track meet. But the one player that I think can turn this match back into the paced affair that LAFC likes to keep it is my player to watch for the black and gold, and that would be none other than the midfield maestro himself, Ilie Sanchez. I think he is going to have to control the pace of this match, and you'll hear me talk a lot about the midfield as we go through our One More Sleep, but Martin Paez and Ilie Sanchez are my 2 players to watch. Philly, I know you got 2, and I know they're different than mine.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you're going with the Flying Dutchman, the goalkeeper for FC Dallas, as your player to watch. But fair. Obviously, LAFC, if they're going to play the attacking style of football they normally do, they're going to pepper the heck out of them. So as far as my players to watch are concerned, Scar, let me ask you a question real quick. Yeah. Did Jesus Ferreira play on the U.S. men's national team during the World Cup?
He was on the U.S. men's national team during the World Cup, yes.
Jesus Ferreira?
Was he not?
No.
I thought they took Jesus Ferreira instead of Ricardo Pepi.
No, I thought it was the other way around.
No, there was no Pepi. It was Ferreira.
Sure about?
I mean, how about this? You talk about why Jesus Ferreira is one of the most deadly strikers in the league, and I'll double check.
Well, regardless, the fact of the matter is, here's a young man hungry who wants to get more caps with his U.S. men's national team. So he's obviously got something to prove going into this season. In the last 14 games that he has scored in, Dallas has gone 11-2-1. This is a team that rarely, if ever, loses when this young man scores. And he's gotten 3 goals on the season so far. So you could argue that Velasco would be your player to watch. Maybe, you'd consider Areola or Paxton Pomykal because they would feed the man. But at the end of the day, the engine that is FC Ribeye Steak runs and guns off the backs of Jesus Ferreira, their leading scorer, and a future all-star with the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, number 9 on your roster for the 2022 U.S. Men's National Team World Cup roster. Just wanted to double check that. The big deal going into that was that they took Ferreira over. I know a lot of people wanted Pepi. I wanted Jordan Pefok, but it was Jesus Ferreira that came in for the U.S. Men's National Team.
Fair enough. So that's who I'm saying we're going to look out for on FC Dallas. I don't know. I must have had a senior moment. You transferred your 40 years over to me. As far as LAFC is concerned, the player to watch is Stipe Biuk. This is a kid that anytime he graces the pitch with his presence, he is deadly. He makes things happen, whether he threads the ball into a forward, whether he's out there dribbling past defenders. The kid is fast. The kid is young, and the kid's got a lot of intestinal fortitude that a lot of young men his age don't have. With Denny Bouanga not in the game this time around because he's going to be on international duty with Gabon, they're going to look to Stipe Biuk to really go out there and prove himself. He has shown flashes of brilliance, but he needs a couple more goals. And for him to score in BMO Stadium would be amazing for our club and amazing for his confidence. That's the player to watch. He's going to be an attacking threat. I got 2 attackers to look out for.
Look, I love the idea of Stipe Biuk's coming out party being against FC Dallas in this match. I think that what you and I have been most pleased about, Philly, has been his passing ability in all of those different situations. I think we're absolutely going to need that. We know Captain Carlos can do whatever Captain Carlos wants to do out there, and we know Mahala can put it in the back of the net, but I do think it'll be Stipe, whether he is threading the needle like you mentioned or putting the ball into the back of the net. I think that'll be incredibly important. What do we have next? Keys to the match, Philly? Is that what we're doing next? Keys to the match?
Keys to the match, baby, because we're not going to go on a 20-minute rant like we normally do.
Let's go. Bring me keys to the match. And look, let's have Panda put them both up on screen right now. I can't wait to see how FC Dallas tries to control the midfield in this match. You mentioned Paxton Pomykal. The other guy I want to mention is Becky G's boyfriend. That would be Sebastian Lletget. I think between Paxton Pomykal and Sebastian Lletget, you've got 2 MLS veterans who know how to play against LAFC and can attempt to control the pace and, more importantly, speed up the game so that players like Paul Arriola, players like Alan Velasco, players like Jesus Ferreira can get out in front and get moving. I think that'll be the real key, is if FC Dallas can control the midfield between Paxton Pomykal and Sebastian Lletget. I don't want to discount Edwin Cerrillo, but I just don't think he's going to have as big of an impact on this match as those two outside mids are going to have. I really think that's where we could get in a little bit of a troubled spot moving forward. But look, the bottom line, and I've been saying this all season, for LAFC, the key to the match, LAFC has not played a minute without Chiqui Palacios on that back line, except for what? 35 seconds for Eric Duenas, or someone came in for him at the end. I forget who, at the end of the Alajuelense game. We didn't get to see it.
Duenas came in for Bouanga.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever came out, Chiqui Palacios came out for someone at some point. I remember that for like the last minute or so. This is a player who is our rock back there. I had mentioned it to you several times. We haven't done a lot without Chiqui Palacios on the back line. That's the part that worries me the most. So whoever fills in, however they fill in for Chiqui, that's what I am looking at going into this match. Philly, your keys to the match.
I mean, I like the fact that you're mentioning control the midfield, because it sort of ties in exactly to what I'm going to talk about. FC Dallas is a team that does maintain a lot of their possession. They don't get caught making stupid mistakes and getting caught on a counter. So don't expect a silly turnover to result in a goal. LAFC being the, if you look down the midfield, that prevents Jesus Ferreira from really getting the ball. He's going to have to attack from the other third of the pitch. And as I mentioned, during the 14 games that he scores, they rarely ever lose. If LAFC can shut down Jesus Ferreira, they're going to win. That being said, if Jesus Ferreira can score, well, they're quite successful when they do. And all the games that they won this season come from behind goals. Jesus Ferreira's instrument in the game. You control the midfield, that chokes out Jesus Ferreira, and that gives us an opportunity to win. So that's what we really need to focus on. Obviously, they got a couple other threats, but the man who's good at putting the ball in the back of the net, as he's done 3 times over the course of, 5 games, Jesus Ferreira. Lock him down, you shut down FC Ribeye Steak.
So what you're saying is Jesus Ferreira. That's the guy.
100%. This is the offense. This is absolutely the offense. As much as everybody wants to say Velasco is the man with 2 goals and 1 assist, it's Jesus Ferreira. He's not a member of FC Dallas. This team is not a threat as much as they are right now.
All right, before we get into our scoring predictions, Philly, something that I know you and I both wanted to mention really quickly, we are going to be able to see another very short, abbreviated pre-match ring ceremony this match. Because, look, we get to welcome back one of our own who scored his first ever goal in Major League Soccer a couple of games ago. They needed it in a 1-1 draw. Sebastian Ibeagha, a player who was massively important for us in our cup run, filling in on the back line, will be back at BMO now. He's never played in BMO before. He's played at the Banc plenty of times. So Sebastian Ibeagha getting his ring. Philly, excited to see Sebastian back at BMO?
Yeah, why not? He was so clutch. When he came on in the game against Austin, he helped shut them down. And then he played the entire game in the final for us to beat the Union. I have nothing but love and respect for Sebastian Ibeagha. He's going to get himself a ring. I don't know if he's going to get quite the ceremony that Latif Blessing got. Remember, Latif was with us from day one. He deserved to get a video. But without a doubt, Sebastian Ibeagha does deserve to get a shout out because he was part of that team and he was on the pitch when we absolutely put the shebang bang, not really a shebang bang, but when we absolutely whooped up on the Union.
Absolutely. Look, let's get into our scoring prediction. I don't know how many people are going to like my scoring prediction, but that's fine. I think this is going to be a track meet. I think this is going to be a track meet. And I think between the depth and the veteran play over on FC Dallas and us missing 3 hugely key pieces, I think we're going to draw in this match. That's right. I think it's going to be 3-3, and I think it's going to be one of the more fun matches we will see all season at BMO. We're talking possibly goals for Ferreira. We're talking goals for Carlos Vela. I think Stipe Buke will get one. Hey, maybe even Timothy Tillman gets back on the score sheet. Who knows? Maybe even Giorgio Chiellini scores a goal in this match. I think it's going to be so much fun, back and forth, up and down. It's going to be a fun track meet out there. 3-3.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. I got these drumsticks in my hand, and if you were anywhere near me, I would use your head as the snare. You're out of your mind, 3-3. This is going to be an LAFC team that is going to come out there and absolutely win. History will not have a tendency to repeat itself. If you recall the last time we played them, they beat us 2-1 on 2 late goals by Jesus Ferreira, albeit that was not at home. But that is a match I will never forget. Ryan Hollingshead got the red. It was BS. We're going to go out there and win 3-2, extending our unbeaten streak against them at home to 4 wins and 1 draw. And we're going to get 3 points. We are defending the Banc. We are not allowing them to walk out with a point. We are defending the Banc.
So wait a minute. You're saying I'm completely crazy and you have me off by 1 goal over the course of the entire match.
1 goal is huge.
I agree. 1 goal is huge. I hope I'm wrong. I want to see a track meet. I think it's going to be lots of fun. I think we're going to see tons of goals. We'll give Sebastian Ibeaga a ring. We'll get ready for the first ever match for LAFC 2 the next day. And we're going to tailgate on Christmas Tree Lane. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Exactly. And then we're going to rewind and do it again for LAFC 2 on Sunday.
That's right. Against North Texas SC or whatever it is, right?
Basically FC Dallas.
There you go. Against the younger men. By the way, check out on our social media. We've got the roster now for LAFC 2 out there. We hope to see everybody out there on Sunday. Tickets are on sale. Philly, anything more you want to add before we wrap up this One More Sleep?
No.
All right. Then, hey, we have this really cool outro. So instead of saying bye-bye, let's let our producer Panda play this really cool outro.